It's time to go racing for the first time this weekend in the NASCAR Euro Series Open Division. The Pro Class set the stage with a thrilling Saturday race just a couple of hours ago, but now it's time to see how things go in the championship hunt in the Open Division, where Thomas Chrysonis has a significant advantage. However, a cushion means very little around this circuit at Zolder. There's always a little twist in the tail waiting for you, especially in the opening corners. As you see, the crews are waiting, or the marshal crew is waiting to welcome the cars onto the grid. They're making their way down at the moment here in the Pro Division. The championship battle has really been blown open in favour of Vittorio Garelli, or maybe been blown shut in favour of Vittorio Garelli, depending on how you want to see it. In the Pro Division, in the Open Division that we're focusing on now, it feels as though Thomas Chrysonis is the man in charge. However, a lot can change over the course of motor race, as we've seen, and all of our championship contenders are going to be on their toes.
For more than a decade, the sacred lands of Zolder have been hosting the pinnacle of NASCAR in Europe. Legends have risen. Heroes have fallen. Friends and foes meet here again. But only one driver can raise the trophy. There can be only one NASCAR Euro Series champion.
An interesting race in prospect here in the Open Division. The championship leader, Thomas Chrysonis, on the outside of the front row for this race. Meanwhile, Thomas Toffel is our pole sitter for this one. It's been a dominant season in Open to this point for Chrysonis, who will be likely thinking above all else about scoring points in a metronomic fashion. For he and PK Car Sport, they currently lead both championships in the drivers' standings, and that will be a huge point of pride for the Belgian team, particularly here on their home turf in Zolder. Here is the point standings as they sit at the moment. 35 points between Chris Sonis and Martin Dubeck, the defending champion, last year's champion, still second in the points. Bruno Mulders, of course, had issues on Sunday in Oschersleben, and that maybe cost him a bid for the championship. He sits third in the points. Thomas Dombrowski fourth. Sandro Tabat-Kalatza in fifth. Melvin de Groot in sixth position. Patrick Schauber in seventh. Claudio Remedio Capelli in eighth. Andres Beers in 9th, Jill Linster is 10th. Bruno Mulders leading the Masters Trophy, Legend Trophy with Melvin Groot, and Happy Dnessa is the Lady Trophy points leader. Let's go down to the grid.
Thank you so much, Adam. I'm here with Thomas Krasonis. I have this wonderful timepiece, Strom Watches award at the end. I cannot give it to you yet, but it's already clear that you will get it at the end of this weekend because you have the most pole starts this season in the Open. So what do you think about it?
It looks amazing. It's very nice to see that we have a great watch sponsor and they create these amazing pieces for us. It looks unique. It looks American NASCAR, you know. So yeah, it's proof that we have been quick the whole season. But still, you saw what happened in Pro also. You don't know how the weekend can change in an instant, so we need still to be very focused. We just need the points, you know, to bring it home. We tried a lot for the championship. We have the advantage, but obviously, as you saw, that means absolutely nothing. So yeah, we try to make a clear start. I think we have the speed for P1 or P2 for sure. Bruno is also quick, you know, basically to be on the top 3. And yeah, we will see. So need to be you see me like this, you need to be a little bit focused more, not to joke too much. It's the finals, eh?
Just one thing, you know that I owe you a winner sticker still, right?
Yes, yes.
I have it this weekend.
Ah, perfect. And then it will be complete, hopefully with 2 more.
All right, then good luck, have fun.
Thank you very much.
Back to you, Adam.
The objective is simple for Chris Sonis. Stay out of trouble, get some race wins if you can, and that's exactly what he's striving to do here. Torfel, though, on the inside of the front row, a hard, stern racer and someone who's shown repeatedly that he's got great pace here this weekend. That didn't really translate, unfortunately, in the first race after a penalty and then a mechanical issue. But we know he's quick. He had top 5 pace in the pro race. He's going to have the pole position in the Open Division race, but he's got competition all around him. Bruno Mulders on the second row of the grid will be one to watch, as will Thomas Dombrowski. Let's go back down to the grid.
Thank you so much, Adam. So, Thomas, you saw that this car is phenomenally fast with Vittorio Girelli on the wheel. You're in the second row in this first final in the 24 PK Car Sport Chevrolet. How are you feeling at the moment?
Yeah, I never doubt about the car is fast, but yeah, it was a weird quali because a red flag, etc. But I think we have the reason to lead the race. So let's go. I have my teammate in front of me. Hope the turn 1 will go good, and yeah, keep pushing. And good job to my teammate to the previous race because it was crazy. He was flying.
But you know that Thomas Krasonis is the championship leader, and therefore, how hard will you go into the battle with him?
Yeah, he's a championship leader. He's my teammate, but we still race, and I want my points on the championship. So we still have a lot of work to do, and I think a good result can happen this weekend. So I fight. I'm here to fight everybody.
All right, merci beaucoup. Thank you so much. Good luck. Back to you, Adam.
In the next few moments, we'll be hearing the national anthems of both Belgium and the United States as we prepare to continue this fabulous festival of all things Americana, of all things stock car racing. It is now 4:45 here. I believe we have our anthems. So then just 6.5 minutes now until the most famous words in motorsport are delivered by our Grand Marshal. We look very much forward to that. The cheerleaders get ready for their pre-event performance to hype the crowd up, as if they need any more hyping with what is an exciting event. A few of the marshals seem to be particular fans of this aspect of the broadcast, even though they don't like it so much when they're on camera themselves. It will be the director of the Circuit Zolder, Harry Stegmans, who is offering. This is great. The exchange between our favourite marshal and the cheerleaders, and indeed our TV director, as we get ready for this race. An exciting run down to the first corner is just a few minutes away. Of course, it will be a 2x2 rolling start down to the first turn, and we very much look forward to seeing that take place. Oh dear, I want to know what Marshall post this is. It looks like a party down there, just as it does on the grid. Of course, the fans have now evacuated the grid, or are in the process of doing so at the very least. In fact, they already have, and will now be making their way to the grandstands to make sure they're in prime position for the start of this motor race. The track here at Zolder, of course, laden with braking zones, with overtaking opportunities. And it is always very exciting to watch the field try, sometimes the emphasis is on the word try, to make their way through the first few chicanes on that opening lap of the race. Of course, the tyres on these cars, the Hoosier tyres, are already a few laps old. They'll have already done qualifying on the set of tyres that are on the cars now. They will proceed to do this race and Sunday's race on the same set of tyres. So in both the Open and the Pro division, there is a big factor of tyre degradation, or managing tyre degradation, making sure you don't take too much life out of the tyres in the early stages. Get that man pom-poms immediately. Oh dear. I get the feeling he does this regularly. It feels like his colleagues are used to it. 3.5 minutes on the stromwatches.com countdown to command. And as we've already seen, Thomas Chrysonis, with the most pole positions in this division, is due to receive that very special Strom Pole Sitter Award watch at the conclusion of this season. But the question is, will he receive the championship trophy? It would be his first championship in the same year where he claimed his first win in the series. After many years of working hard to improve, he's really taken the big step this year. In part, that's thanks to the collaboration with PK Car Sport, who've offered him a particularly competitive car across both divisions this year. And the Open title should not be clinchable in this race. However, he will be potentially able to take a big step forward. However, he needs to survive the race. He needs to survive the first few corners. And while he has his eye on sweeping the final weekend, as he said to Andre a little bit earlier on, he will also have to consider, as we get a look at they're watching themselves now on the replay. Look, amazing stuff. But Chrysonis will also have to consider the factor of just scoring points, because being classified at the back of the field would cost him an awful lot. And I think Thomas Tuchel is more focused on individual results at this phase. In fact, he said that to Andre ahead of the pro race, that he's really kind of laser focused on the individual results, ending the season strong. more so than any championship at this point. Of course, Toffel coming into this race all the way down in 11th in the standings, despite having a fairly strong car underneath him this year. The luck has not always been on Toffel's side. What about Martin Dubek? What can he do? The defending champion in this division, only starting from P5, so he's got a bit of work to do to catch up to Chrysonis in second place, and he can never be ruled out for a good result. Of course, Hendricks Motorsport, another team of relative locality here to the Circuit Zolder, the Dutch team here in Belgium, so it's their closest track to home. They've logged a fair few miles here. I suspect they've given him a very good car to work with. What about Sandro Tavat-Kalatsa as well? I feel like he could be an X-factor. That number 9 car was hooked up in the pro race, according to its driver, David Kajaya, and now Tavat-Kalatsa takes the machine over. 30 seconds then until the countdown to command. Let's go down to Harry Stigmans, our Grand Marshal.
De gevleugelde woorden moet uitspreken die iedereen wel kent en die de motoren zullen laten brullen van deze NASCAR-bolides. Harry, ga je gang.
Drivers, start your engine!
And with that, the engines fire into life and the formation lap is coming right up here at Zolder. Looks like there is a gap on the grid potentially there. It's Patrick Schauber's number 3 car, unfortunately missing on the grid, and that is probably a legacy of the damage that it sustained at the hands of Paul Giuffreau in the pro race earlier on. The suspension was very, very badly damaged. I'm sure RDV Competition worked very hard to try and get the car out there, but it doesn't appear to be in a condition to take the start of the race, which is a bitter disappointment for Schauber, who was looking to try and net himself a top 5 finish in the points standings. He was only 9 points off that accolade in 7th in the points, and I think it's now going to be a bridge too far with this potential non-start, never mind a non-finish in this race. I'm sure they'll try and get him out there to at least register some laps and get a good starting place for Sunday, where the grid is set by the fastest laps in the race. Thomas Toffel then for THT by Race Art Technology is our pole sitter. He's alongside Thomas Chrysonis on the front row of the grid. Bruno Mulders from 3rd position will be looking for a better run to the first corner than he had in pro earlier on. Thomas Dombrowski alongside him on row 2. Row 3 of the grid is Martin Dubek in Hendricks Motorsports number 7. Sandro Tavat-Kalatsa, Team Georgia, in 6th position. Retty Jones Racing's Jill Linster starting from 7th, the number 3 car. Hopefully we'll get some laps in, but not currently on the grid on the formation lap. Row 5 of the grid, the 69 car of Melvin de Groot alongside Andres Beers for Academy Alex Caffey Motorsport. Beers once again running well here on home turf at Zolder. Claudio Remigio Capelli lines up from 11th on the grid, while Valerio Marzi rounds out the top dozen. To continue down the rest of the grid, in 13th place it is Valentino Gambarotto in 13th place, Davide Frulio in 14th, Nick Strickler lines up 15th, the first time that he's lined up with the Lux Motorsport team. Florian Richard in the 33 lines up 16th, and it's Dominic Schack in 17th, Mikael Blakemolen alongside him. Reza Sardeha is next in 19th. In 20th position, it will be Happy Nessa on the verge of securing the Lady Trophy Championship title here. Francesco Leogrande in 21st, and Sven van Laar rounds out the 22-car potential starting order. Let's hope, indeed, that we get Patrick Schauber out on the circuit. Andre, I think you should be there with us now. We're getting ready for this Open Division race. 15 laps. It should be fairly fast and frenetic. What do you reckon? Toffel versus Chrysonis on the front row.
Yes, this is going to be an amazing battle again. Hopefully this time with a little bit of a better ending than in the Pro when we had this crash Toffel pushed Bruno Mulders into Geoffroy and ended his championship dreams, I guess. But this is a different race. It's another championship final, double points on the line. Thomas Krassones has his hands on the big trophy, but still he needs 2 decent results here at Circuit Zolder to finally become a European NASCAR champion. Therefore, the 13 definitely, in my opinion, the dominant force in this season in open, but still there's so much going on track, so we need to see what happens now.
Absolutely right. They're approaching the Whelen Engineering start zone now, and we will be underway and racing just as soon as Thomas Toffel tickles that right foot on the accelerator pedal. We're underway and racing, and it's a good start from Krassones to my eye as he approaches the first corner with maybe a little bit of a bump draft from Dombrowski. Oh, but Toffel overcooks it into the first corner and he spins out. He was very quick through the apex of turn 1. As it turns out, he was slightly too quick, overcooked it, asked too much of the rear tyres, and Toffel will be hugely frustrated. He's going to have to work all the way from the back. He tried that at Vallelunga. It didn't turn out so well. Let's hope he has a clean run through the field. It's Krassones well clear at the front of the field. Bruno Mulders in second position. Dombrowski third. Jelinster in fourth. Then it is... It's the number 9 car of Sandro Tavat in 6th place there. I was going to say David Kajaya for a minute, but that would be the other way round, of course. Linster with a good start then from what was 7th at the first sector split, I think, even. So he's made up some good positions. You see at the back there, Toffel closing in already. But that is not the start that the number 34 driver wanted.
Nah, definitely not. Yeah, he just missed the braking point. He already locked the tires going into the braking zone, and then he lost control of his car. So a black day there for Thomas Toffel so far. He created chaos in the pro division and got penalized for that, and now he lost the car. Fortunately, this time there was no other driver involved. At the moment, Thomas Krassones leading the first lap ahead of Bruno Mulders, and then we have the rocket of Thomas Dombrowski in the 24, then Jelinster, Sandro Tavat-Kiladze, and Martin Dubek is there also already attacking to go into the top 5. And we have here Dominic Schaak behind Florian Richard, Happy Nessa also with a good run. And the first position gain for Thomas Toffel. He got past Sven van Laere there.
There you go, so Toffel on his way back up the field. Timing didn't pick him up through the first lap. Hopefully he gets picked up soon. Ulysse Del So didn't take the start either, unfortunately, in the number 14 car, so he's gone missing in the early stages here. Meanwhile, we watch on as Martin Dubek finds himself now behind Sandro Tavat-Kiladze. Dubek going the wrong way on the first lap, dropping a position, and of course that's the last thing that Dubek wants. He wants a good run here to try and at least keep himself in the hunt with a minor hope of a championship going into Sunday if Krassones manages to hold on at the front of the field. But Krassones 6/10 clear at the line over Mulders as we see Patrick Schauber out onto the track. That's good news for the young Austrian. He'll be able to at least get some laps in and see what he can do in the race, although I wonder if perhaps he might just do 2 or 3 laps to effectively qualify for Sunday, just to get a fast lap in to make sure he's got a decent grid slot for the race on Sunday morning. A big shame for him that this race is not panning out, or he didn't get to start from where he was scheduled to. So then Krassones, Mulders, Dombrowski, still your top 3. Mulders was the fastest of the top 3 across the line that time. Linster, Tavat-Kiladze, Dubek, your top half dozen. And you can see the man under the most pressure right now is certainly Sandro Tavat-Kiladze. Martin Dubek keeping that number 7 Orion-backed Ford Mustang very close in the mirrors of the number 9 driver. Melvin de Groot is there in 7th place and leading Legend Trophy, but only just. He's got Claudio Remeggio Capelli right there with him. Capelli has a look to the inside, as does Dubek. Dubek gets through, and I think Claudio Remeggio Capelli might have done as well. Oh no, I think Melvin de Groot had to shortcut the chicane there. They're still side by side in the back of shot there as they head down towards the second chicane of the lap, and it's getting a bit physical for the Legend Trophy lead. Melvin de Groot is through though, retains his position ahead of Claudio Remeggio Capelli, but Melvin de Groot fighting it out with Capelli. Martin Dubek up into 5th position, just showing there the brilliance of this circuit for these cars. You get these really exciting late-breaking duels.
And joining the battle, de Groot and Capelli, is also Valentino Gambarotto in the 11 car of Alumitech Racing, and also Andres Beers in the number 1 car, Academy Café entry. They joined the 2 Legend Trophy drivers there, and now it's a 4-way battle. At the front of the field, we see that the drivers are not pulling away. We have nice groups there as well. Here we have the 11 car, the shiny car of Alumitech Racing, Gambarotto, trying to make a move on Capelli, but at the same time he has to defend his possession against Andres Beers. And we have Nick Strickler also back. The Strickler, the big American, the giant with the famous mustache, was racing has been racing in the NASCAR Euro Series for a couple of times now, and he's back with Lux Motorsport for the 2025 NASCAR Euro Series final race weekend. Nice to have a total of, I think, in Pro and Open, 3 American racers also taking part in the European NASCAR Championship, Adam.
Yeah, absolutely right. Of course, we've got we often have a nice American contingent now, as it feels like more and more of a bridge is being built across the Atlantic to the NASCAR Euro Series from the US racing fraternity, and exciting to welcome, of course, Ryan Vargas back for this weekend for the first time this year. So then, Cresonis was marginally quicker than Mulder's last time by. Let's see what the timing screens have to say on this occasion. We'll keep an eye on that. In looking at it from the eyeball perspective, I get the feeling that maybe Mulder's has found a little bit of time. It's very nip and tuck between the top 3, between the 2 PK Car Sport cars and Team Blake Amonen's Mulder's in the middle. And in fact, no, Cresonis with the fastest lap of the race at 32.662, extending his lead out to just under 9/10 of a second that time by. Linster, Dubek, Tavat, Kalatza very close together and still in fighting. There's Claudio Remeggio Capelli. He was under pressure from Gambarotto as we cut away there, and I suspect it might have gotten a little bit close there through turn 2. Hopefully both Mustangs are still on the circuit, but it seems as though Capelli is the one having all of the fun out there. He is still ahead of Gambarotto. We saw at the very back of shot, but Gambarotto, the Italian in the Illumitech car, is certainly going to keep hustling.
Yeah, it's a really nice battle there inside of the top 10. Linster having Martin Dubek behind him. It's a battle for 4th place, and also Sandro Tavatkiladze with a really good run so far, keeping there the 6th place in the Team Georgia by Marco Stipp Motorsport. Chevy Camaro, the number 9 car. We saw already with David Kajaya posting his best career result in the Pro Division that this car is really strong, really fast here at Circuit Zolder. Then we have this big gap to Melvin de Groot. He's a little bit in a more comfortable situation right now, with Capelli losing ground on de Groot in the battle for the Legend Trophy lead. And Martin Dubek, he needs points. He wants to have a shot at the championship. You never know what happens to Thomas Cassonis up front. Therefore, Martin Dubek will try to maximize the results. And now he has a chance to pass Jill Insta on the outside of turn 1. Really strong move there from Martin Dubek.
Yeah, very nicely done by Dubek. I got the feeling there over the last couple of laps that Linster might be just starting to struggle a little bit for pace right now. No such issues though for Dubek. Question now is, can Tavat Kalatza find a way past to maybe try and chase Martin down the road towards the top 3 in this race. We'll see whether Dubek has that ultimate pace. Certainly in qualifying, it looked like that car was maybe a step back from what we normally see, as we now see Tavat Kalatsa getting by Linster as well. It looks like Linster might be struggling a bit under braking. He hasn't got quite as much stopping power to my eye as Tavat Kalatsa there going into the first chicane. The Retty Jones Racing car then unfortunately down into 6th position, having started the lap side by side for 4th place with Martin Dubek.
Adam, there's one car off track. The first real chicane that we have. I cannot see which car it is, but there's smoke. It may be the number 1 car. It's the number 1 car of Andres Beers smoking there.
Yeah, we can just see that, and a lick of flame from the exhaust as well as he tries to get it fired up. The Alex Caffey Academy Motorsport machine is stationary for now, and they'll be hoping in race control that that can get rolling again on its own. Otherwise, they may need, at the very least, double local yellow flags. And that's one of those corners where you really don't want yellows if you're a driver fighting for positions. What a shame for Andres Beers as well. He was running well within the top 10 today. And unfortunately, he is now potentially going to be a non-finisher. While that's going on, Thomas Torfel has moved up into the top 10 as a result of that. He's now into 10th position, continuing his surge up the field. Just set his fastest lap of the race, which isn't the fastest of anybody, but it's still an impressive lap time all the same. The fastest lap of the race at the moment belongs to the man in the lead, to Thomas Chrysonis. It looks to me like Mulders is doing a really good job in the first couple of sectors of this particular lap. Certainly at no point in this race has Chrysonis been more than a second away from Mulders. I think the young Dutchman has at least the equal level of performance to that of Chrysonis. The question is, can he find a step of extra speed as he continues to follow the Greek?
It also depends, of course, if he keeps the car in the right window with the tires. They all did already the qualifying on those set of tires. They have to do the race tomorrow. It depends on how much he can attack and how he can use this advantage if he's in the right window or not. And what you also can see, Adam, to be honest, the 24 car, Tomasz Dąbrowski, he's in 3rd. We saw Girelli dominating with this car earlier today in qualifying and also in the race. There's a difference of level in Pro and Open, and you see it. And that's also the reason why we have 2 championships and 2 drivers sharing 1 car. But here you can really see how much the driver has an impact on the performance, because Dąbrowski now 5 seconds back in a car that was dominant in Pro. For me, that's a sign that Girelli really found something to be incredibly fast here at Circuit Zolder, because if it was just the car, Dąbrowski would have been way, way better than he is right now. Again, Dąbrowski doing an amazing job in 3rd place, but for me, that's a really a proof for the performance of Girelli earlier in Pro.
I think we are probably going to have quite a shift in terms of the pecking order going into next season in the Open division. Someone like Thomas Chrysonis, I can't really imagine him doubling up again next year. He's a race winner now in the Pro division, which typically is the sign that it's time to move on up. And of course, Bruno Mulders, he may well do double up. Oh, Thomas Torfel! Thomas is having a rough one here today. His 2nd spin. And it's, I think, maybe a spin. Yes, he's taken out the tyre stack, as you can see, at the chicane. And that is wildly out of position. That might require a full course yellow. He seems to think his car can go no further as he heads towards the escape road. But Thomas Torfel's difficult weekend continues to throw up challenges. That's a big shame. But just to round out my point that I was making previously, the top 2 in this race right now, as we go to full course yellow, it wouldn't shock me if perhaps we see them focusing on Pro next season.
Oh, and there we see that he hit the tire stack. The tire stack is there on the curb, and therefore we need the full course yellow. The car was already removed from the gravel trap, but still we need some work here to get the tire stack back where it belongs, and therefore we go to full course yellow speed with Thomas Krassonis ahead of Bruno Mülders, then Thomas Dombrowski ahead of Dubek, Tavat Kiladze, Linster, our top 6 here with 7 laps to go.
Yeah, as I said, I had a feeling a yellow or a full course was coming with the tyre stack displaced. Toffel will unfortunately not be reaching the checkered flag then in this race, since he looked to be heading behind the barriers down there. Full course yellow then, everyone should maintain their gaps. And for Mulders, it could be an opportunity, of course, because if Krassonis is even a little late to fire the car back into life, coming back to green, then that could really change things. But of course, it depends on how we get the race restarted. Sometimes we go to a virtual safety car situation, which in this series means everyone bunches up before a rolling restart. Or, as the tyre stack is substituted, I suspect, for one of its colleagues, or it could be, of course, a full-on safety car that gets deployed instead. Now, are they going to put another tyre stack in, or have they decided that the Thomas Toffel car... yes, they have. They have put another stack in. Okay, so we do have everything back to normal by the looks of it down at the chicane. I suspect it may not be long. Yes, green flag, we are underway, and to me that looked like Krassonis got a slightly better start than Mulders in second place. So that is good news if you're Thomas Krassonis, especially heading down into that braking zone at Boulderberg box. But look at that top 5. They're very close together now. Krassonis, Mulders, Dombrowski, Dubek, Tavat Kiladze, all in one long queue. And for Krassonis, that's going to be a point of contention. There's a lot more now going on in his mirrors. Let's see if they string back out again. Martin Dubek, just before the full course yellow, had started to set some really good lap times in clear air. I think for Thomas Dombrowski, the fact that Dubek is right up on his bumper could be a little bit of a concern for that podium finish.
Yeah, but this is going to be a really nice battle now for the lead. Thomas Krassonis is still in a comfortable position because Bruno Mülders is not close enough to throw an attack. Then Dombrowski back in the action because he had a 5-second gap before the full course yellow. And also Martin Dubek and Sandro Tavat Kiladze, they are involved. Jilinsta trying to keep up with the top 5, but at the moment he's not close enough at the back bumper of Tavat Kiladze to do something and gain positions there. But we have still 5.5 laps to go. By the way, I want to take a minute or a second to say thanks to all the marshals. They did an amazing work replacing this tire stack, but not only here at Circuit Zolder in general in the 2025 season. Without the marshals, the Orange Army out there, racing would not be possible. And if you want to become or be part of racing and get as close as possible to racing cars and the racing action, do your license and become a marshal, because without them there's no racing. And it's amazing to do the test and be out there. I did it myself, therefore I know what I'm talking about. Do it.
Yeah, absolutely right. It's a great way to get involved with the sport that we all love so very much. Of course, for Martin Dubek, this is about so much more than just the podium. If he can get past Dombrowski, it minimises the points lost to Thomas Krassonis just a little bit, and again gives him, albeit a mathematical and nominal chance at the championship. It could still just about happen, but we'll have to keep an eye on that situation. Krassonis then in the lead of the race, dominating at this stage. He has been searingly impressive in the number 13 all season long here in the open division. You alluded to him as a great example in the pro race, Andre, of someone who's really developed and really stuck to it and worked hard to get to a strong position. And it has been really impressive to see what he's doing this year. By no means a fluke. It's a full season now where he's proved himself to be a front runner actually in both divisions, which is a really great story. Martin Dubek, though, is right on the bumper of Thomas Dąbrowski. I think Dąbrowski is going to spend the next 4.5 laps largely driving through the mirrors.
And he's trying everything to gain positions, because in the end we still have almost 4 laps to go, and therefore when something happens to Krassonis, Dubek would be there in the championship standings. He will not give up. He knows what it takes to win a championship. He's a 2-time Open champion. And by the way, there's an announcement coming up very soon about Martin Dubek's future in the NASCAR Euro Series. We have a 5-second penalty for Nick Strickler in the 21 Lux Motorsport Chevy Camaro. I think this race has not finished yet, because Bruno Mülders, he looks so strong, and if he finds a gap, he will attack Krassonis, and also Dubek there, now trying to get a podium spot. He needs to pass Thomas Dąbrowski in the 24 car. That's so strong this weekend. PK Carsport, home track. Anthony Kümpen, the team boss, knows this track like the back of his hand. Therefore, they have an advantage here, because PK Carsport, this is the home race. They did so many races here in the past, therefore Anthony Kümpen knows every stone that is here in every gravel trap, and we see that the performance is phenomenal. But still there's a Martin Dubek, a 2-time Open champion, knocking on the door at the back bumper of Thomas Dąbrowski. And with 3 laps to go, Adam, I think this half lap, I just take the long way down to victory lane. See you later.
Okay, thank you very much, Andre. I've always promised myself to sit there with a calculator and work out exactly how many racing hours have been done by PK Carsport here, but it must be in the thousands since they're so regular in the 24 Hours of Zolder. Here comes Dubek to the inside line, going into Boulderberg box. He's got the inside and he's got 3rd position at the expense of Thomas Dąbrowski. He moves up into P3 then with that one. Nice driving from the number 7 competitor. It's worth noting, by the way, that it is a 35-point advantage going into this race, of course, for Krassonis over Dubek. Even with this 3rd place finish, I think all Krassonis would have to do tomorrow is complete the start of the race, and he would be champion, potentially. We'll have to get confirmation of that from the media team, but I recall Reza from the Euro NASCAR media team doing the maths on that and saying that effectively, yeah, if it's 45 points or more, then all he has to do is start, and at the moment it would be, I think, 47 points the gap between Dubek and Krassonis. So that is potentially the situation there. We'll wait for confirmation on that, though, as the Krassonis Mulders battle may yet get joined by Martin Dubek. He's been on roaring pace in this race. As we look at the backer shot there, that's De Groot and Capelli still fighting it out here for the Legend Trophy win. 7th overall. Capelli and De Groot have been fighting this one out for an overwhelming majority of the race, and still the number 5 driver fancies his opportunity. Of course, the 3rd place runner in the class is Mikael Bleekemolen at the moment in the number 76 car. Meanwhile, the leaders are just approaching some traffic here on the penultimate lap. I think Happin Nessa, and then just ahead of her potentially Francesco Liagrande are going to be some potential obstacles here, and they'll try and do their best, I'm sure, to stay well out of the way. We see Capelli still in the wheel tracks of Melvin de Groot, trying to find any way he can to get through. Coming into this race, of course, in the Legend Trophy, they were separated by 25 points. So Capelli really needs to get a result here over Melvin de Groot, and he's going to look to the inside to try and do it. He's not close enough there at turn 2. But from Capelli's perspective, being 25 points back from Melvin in the Legend Trophy classification, it is all important that he finishes ahead of the giant Dutchman here today. 1.5 laps of racing left to go for Melvin de Groot to withstand the assault of this pressure from Claudio Remigio Capelli. At the front of the field, it's Chrysonis from Mulders from Dubek in a result that would put Chrysonis within touching distance of the championship. Oh, and Melvin Groot getting a bit twitchy there into Boulderberg bot for the penultimate time. And Capelli, you see him firing down through the gears there, the flames emitting from the exhaust. He's doing everything he can. You saw him getting a bit loose there into the first corner. He's trying his best, but Melvin just appears to have the measure. To the inside line again for the chicane, but I don't think he's going to be close enough. While that's going on, in second place, there is a battle going on between Mulders and Dubek. Bruno Mulders has fallen into the clutches of Martin Dubek somewhat. Here comes, is that Chrysonis into... No, it's not. That's Patrick Schauber. But here is Thomas Chrysonis. Yep, turning into the final sector for the final time, and into second place has gone Martin Dubek. Bruno Mulders has fallen back here. There was a huge shrinking in the gap for second place. We're not sure how it's happened, but Mulders has dropped back, and he may not even finish on the podium because Dombrovski's right there with him. Meanwhile, our championship leader puts himself within touching distance of the title in the open division. Congratulations, Thomas Chrysonis and PK Carsport. What a race from Chrysonis. Dubek takes second place. Mulders takes third position. Dombrovski in fourth. Tavat Kalatza rounds out the top five ahead of Jill Linster. And as we saw just there, Melvin Groot does finish in seventh place despite the best efforts of Claudio Remeggio Capelli. Valentino Gambarotto crosses the line in ninth place. And then Nick Strickler will round out the overall top 10 in the number 21 car. In doing so, that will be quite the return to the series for him. Of course, he's not counted as a championship entity, as it were. He has that non-championship tag on him, but all the same, a good result for Strickler. Shaq in 11th, 12th place for Frulio, Florent Richard in 13th, Mikael Blekemolen in 14th, and Reza Sardeha will cross the line in P15. I believe Happy Nessa will have clinched her title in Lady Trophy already at this juncture. She's the only driver in the class this weekend. Of course, at times we've had Ariana Casoli as well, so congratulations to Happy Nessa, but massive congratulations to Chrysonis. What a race that was. As we get a look now at the top 10 again, to reiterate then, Chrysonis by just under 4 seconds, your race winner. Mulders in third, Dombrovski in fourth. And in, Mulders in third, Dombrovski in fourth, Sandra Tavkalatsa fifth, Jill Linster in sixth, Melvin Groot in seventh, Capelli in eighth, Gambarotto ninth, and Nick Strickler rounds out the top 10. And There is Victory Lane. There is Andre Viegold helping Chrysonis out of the car. And I think Thomas will be all too aware that he's now within touching distance of the championship. He climbs from the car. And that's a very, very happy man. Heads over to his team and his supporters and family. All he has to do at this stage, per our understanding, is start the race tomorrow and he will be champion. So in most practical regards, he has a hand and 4 fingers on the title. He just needs to start the race. That's why these celebrations are particularly warm and profound, because they know just how close he is. There's Alan Day. Who was wishing him well there. Chrysonis will be delighted. He is very close to the glory that he's been seeking for so many years in this paddock that always felt quite a long way away from him. But this year, he's taken such a big step. And it's now so close. We saw Martin Dubeck wandering down to Victory Lane. He had a very good race, to be fair. Second position for him. Very good from his starting position. Let's go down to Victory Lane.
Thank you so much. Adam, I am here with Thomas Chrysonis, race winner, championship leader. I know I said it already to Vittorio earlier today. I know that drivers don't want to hear about it, but the trophy's in sight, right?
Well, for sure, yeah. Yeah, that was what we needed today. So basically, from what I understand, tomorrow we just need to finish 1 lap to get classified for the points, and that's it. But I don't want to say a lot of things. I just want to say that it's been a very big effort. Without the help of my sponsors, Costamare and Dodoni, that wouldn't be possible. Without the help of my trainer, Paul Tibas, and my driving coach, Alon Day, and my amazing team, friends and family, all this combined effort would not be able, without them to bring the same result. So yeah, I want to party. I want to to have fun. But let's finish tomorrow morning with the race. And yeah, tomorrow we have laughs. We will drink. It will be a different day. But we have one more. So calm, and that's it. Yeah.
But can you tell me something about the race? Because it was not an easy win. Bruno put a lot of pressure on you.
I told you, Bruno, from the beginning, he will be a problem in the next years. He's getting up to pace extremely fast. So tomorrow, I mean the day after, today we will have to, and in the next season, take him into account for sure, especially if he does the pro. I think if he's more consistent, he will be a contender as well. So yeah, congratulations to him. Very nice to see new blood being this good. So yeah, for sure will be a great contender in the future. By far one of the best prospects.
All right, now it's time for the winner stickers. And last time you mocked me already. Where's my one that I owe you? I have 2. Back to you, Adam.
Well, Thomas Chrysonis, a very happy man. What about the Race Art Technology THT guys? They've got a lot of work to do on Thomas Toffel's car. Not the day that they'd have wanted in any capacity for Toffel. They've got great machinery there today. Thomas proved it in qualifying, but both races have proven very difficult. Let's go back downstairs.
All right, I have to hurry up a little bit with the interviews. Claudio, one song for today after the big battle with Melvin.
I don't know, but something that means at the end, this is the end.
This is the end?
The Doors.
The Doors, already. We have another track to add to our playlist. But how much fun was it out there?
Yes, behind Melvin was very fun. I had some issue with the brakes, so I can push, but it was fun, I forced him to jump 2 times this weekend, so I hope in 5 seconds maybe. But sad but true. This is.
All right, grazie mille, thank you so much. We keep on with Bruno Mulders. Amazing battle for first place, but something was missing to get the win here today.
Yeah, just a tiny bit of pace compared to Thomas. He was just a tiny bit faster. I mean, half of the race we were basically even at the end. I started sliding a bit in the rear, but no, it was very a good fight as well.
What happened to in the battle with Dubek at the end?
Yeah, I had a mistake with shifting and I lost the rear, so then he was able to get past. He made quite a move, I have to say that.
All right, thank you, well, thank you so much. I need to keep on going. Sandro Tavatkilatse, the next one. An amazing race for you, really good position. How do you feel?
Yeah, the pace was really good, better than the last race. The car is better, we improved it. So I think we could get to P3, but overtaking his is really difficult. So we'll try tomorrow.
All right, thank you so much. Congratulations. And the next one, we have Martin Dubek here. I have to be very fast right now. Motor silence.
Finally, I am here.
Motor silence later, you know. Martin, in the end, maximized the outcome. It wasn't enough to beat Thomas Krassonis, but I think you did the maximum you can, right?
Yeah, I did the maximum. There was a terrible start because Jill did stupid move there and I was almost out. But yeah, I was staying on the track, and then from P6 or P7 I tried, I did my maximum. And yeah, in the last lap I overtook Bruno, and good, so we are back on the podium. I already spoke with Thomas, I think he's already champion, no?
We have to check.
I think, so I'm happy for him, but next year I want the title for sure.
I think that was the confirmation for next year. Thank you so much, congratulations, back to you, Adam.
Well, yes, in most practical regards, Krassonis is very close to the championship, but he does still need to show up in the morning and get through that first lap, as he said. Martin Dubek, I think, has confirmed it in his own mind that retaining the championship isn't possible this year, and certainly he is always very sporting and friendly to his rivals. As we saw, him and Thomas chatting as they went up the stairs to the podium together. Meanwhile, you see Mulders' car being pushed down there. Of course, it'll be raced again by young Bruno in both the Pro and the Open Division race. A little over, or a little under 24 hours from now, you see there the Open race, the next Open race, at 11:10 in the morning tomorrow, where the championship will be confirmed. And of course, in the Pro Division, there's still the looming possibility as well of a late fight back in the championship, even though Vittorio Garelli has a very strong position going into Sunday in Pro. So then, the Open podiums will be ongoing shortly. We'll again be welcoming Jason Simmons of NASCAR, the Director of International Competition for NASCAR, to do the presentations. Always great to see him with us in the paddock, and of course that partnership between the local organisers, the Galpin family and their colleagues, and NASCAR, allowing this series to continue to go from strength to strength and build a platform for young talents like this man, Bruno Mulders, who really does feel like someone whose sky is the limit. Martin Dubek, second step, and champion-elect, let's call him. He's not quite there yet, but we know how close he is. Thomas Krassonis with yet another victory.
Mr. Jason Simmons is here to present the trophies to Bruno Mulders, finishing third. Then for Martin Dubek.
There you go, Mulders receives his trophy. Martin Dubek lifts the second place, but Thomas Chrysonis is the man of the hour. His 6th victory of this season. He has been searingly impressive this year. It'll also be his 9th top 10 finish, his 9th top 5 finish of the year. And now it's time to spray the champagne.
Celebrations on the podium. We're not done. There's still one more picture left with the crowd on the background. Please, people, raise your hands for the picture. Please wave to our podium finishers of today.
And there we go, in front of the fans. Our top 3 celebrate. We'll now move on to our next presentation, and that will be for the Master Trophy for amateur drivers as well as rookies in the series. And in fact, no, sorry, it's Legend Trophy first up, so that'll be the over 40s categorization, which of course Melvin de Groot and Claudio Remeggio Capelli were fighting very hard for a little bit earlier on. But first up, Mikael Bleekemolen to the 3rd step of the podium. Claudio Remeggio Capelli to the 2nd step. He'll be disappointed. He knows that he needed to really outscore Martin today to have a good shot at the Legend Trophy title. But Melvin de Groot takes to the top step. The Dutch giant with an equally large step forward towards the Legend Trophy title. At one time, of course, was potentially a contender for the overall championship, led the points coming out of Brands Hatch. It's been his strongest season so far. Very much looking forward to seeing what he can do in 2026. Assuming he'll be back, and I get the feeling he will be. Next up then, it is the Master Trophy. Which is the bronze driver / rookie classification, as Martin Dubek keenly explains some of the finer details of the race. Always quite animated is Martin. Very expressive individual. As he said, I won a 3rd title in 2026 in the Open Division, so well, it's good to know that he's coming back. Sandro Tavakilatsa to the 3rd step of the podium. Thomas Dombrowski follows in 2nd. But your Master Trophy race winner is Bruno Mulders, and he'd better get used to being a rookie and a driver considered bronze grade for this season. We better lap it up while he can, because it's certainly not going to be the case next year. Young Mulders has been so impressive in 2025. The karting graduate at the conclusion now, well, at least tomorrow, at the conclusion of his first season in cars, has really turned many heads.
Social media and so on. And also for you, see you tomorrow. There's one more podium left. That's the Lady Trophy
Next up then, the Lady Trophy classification. And Happy Nessa to the top step, Vanessa Neumann. She will be the Lady Trophy champion in Euro NASCAR Open this season. And wins the class here today. She'll be hoping, I think, to come back in 26 and possibly have some more competition to go up against as well in the classification. Congratulations then to all of our podium finishers in that race, class and overall. Setting the stage nicely for Thomas Chrysonis. He's on the verge of championship glory. The last day of the season is coming up. The championships will be signed, sealed and delivered in less than 24 hours time. So make sure you join us for the final helping of both the Euro NASCAR Open